Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talks with Tina, where we are pursuing our most true and authentic self by what? Uncovering our roots. If you can't hear, I'm a little under the weather, so you guys will have to excuse me. I have a little sniffle. So, anywho, in the spirit of getting straight to the point, today's topic, I think I'm going to title this student in this thing called life or something in that nature, because that's basically what this topic stems from. Is like being a student in life. It's so cliche, I'm sure it's been said before, but when I really honed in and brought this to my own kind of personal life, it really made a lot of sense. So I hope I can break this down to make it make sense to you. I was going through my journal last night. This is my little handy dandy journal going places. She's raggedy because we've been going through a lot. But I was going through my journal. Yeah, I'm showing a whole bunch of blank pages, but it's a lot in there. And I was just like, first of all, I said, girl, you're a little poetic in these things. I was like, I'm just saying what my heart wants while my brain is free. I was like, girl, you out here saying some things. I don't know. Anywho, so I was going through that, and basically it was just like as if I was in a classroom studying myself. And when you start to, like, that's what uncovering our roots is. And so I've literally journaled the process and I put it out for you guys. But y'all know I make everything into a metaphor. So if we're thinking of this as the way that I had it when I was thinking about it, life is the teacher. You are the student. The classroom is just your life experiences. As we grow and evolve and grow up, each year we go to a different grade, right? Or each lesson. I like to put this in lessons because that's kind of what this was based off of. Like, each lesson is supposed to be an elevation and a next step to our career or our journey, whatever, let's call it a journey. So this lesson in life was basically what kick-started it all. We all know Talks with Tina started from a breakup, but it caused me to go back and look over all the things that I've learned in my life, or that I didn't learn, and how I need to apply it to my life today. So life, being the teacher that it is, sent me back to uncover my roots, and I hope that you guys are doing the same. But as I was uncovering my roots, we all know, it came down to like daddy issues. I hate using that word because that phrase, because it's so condescending and it has like a derogatory kind of meaning to it. But daddy issues, because what I was longing after was basically that relationship with my father, but I was seeking it from other people, seeking it elsewhere. But besides the point, how do we full circle this? How do we make it make sense to your life? If you really think about the classroom and your life experiences and your life lessons, let's make this make sense. Oftentimes we feel like people hold us back. Like, before I started taking accountability for my own actions and what I needed to work on, I solely put the blame on this person. Like, he was toxic. Oh, he just played with my heart. He knew what he wanted, but it was just but like, it's easy to put the brunt of most of the issues on that person. Yeah, we take semi fault of what we did, but we like to put the blame on the other person. But when you start to take accountability for yourself, you learn that there's certain things that you needed to address first before you even talked about the situation. So life is a teacher, and those who advance are the ones who do the homework. Homework is to expand on the knowledge that we could learn in the lesson. So Talks with Tina right now is the homework for the lesson. And if I wasn't honest with myself and I didn't confront what I needed to do on my end when it came time for the quiz is the practice. So if those issues were confronted again, I would be in the same predicament if I didn't take the time to do the homework. I'm doing the homework now, so the next man or whatever approaches, I'm not dishing out the same mess that I did or ignoring the same signs that I did, because I did my homework. I did my homework on me. I didn't do my homework on them, because it's not about them anymore. It's about me. So now when the test comes, I'm not confused and bamboozled. I really want to hone in on the fact that you have to take accountability. Cheating your way through life, it's real easy to do. But then when that test comes, you can't fall back on the next person behind you. You can't fall on, sneaking in, taking pictures or whatever. Like if we're using the school as a metaphor, classroom as a metaphor, like you really have to do the work. And that if I can just really bring it all full circle, you have to do the work. Life is just merely a teacher. And you have to be a student, but you have to be an active student. You can't be somebody who's just trying to get by. If you really want to be successful and succeed and be whole and be happy, you have to do the work. It's not easy. Sometimes you will be up all night. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Avoid certain people if they aren't benefiting the lessons that you are trying to learn more from. Like, certain people got to get cut off. Like, if friends, family, it doesn't matter, because you're trying to be better. Like, if I'm really trying to full circle this whole life classroom thing, you have to be better. So you learn the lesson, right? The lesson is taught to you. I can't blame somebody else for me not understanding what the lesson is, because it's me. That means I do the homework. The homework is uncovering your roots, right? Boom, here we are. Uncover your roots. So that way, when the quiz comes, the quiz is the practice for the test. Because when that test comes, it's going to be big, and the test really determines if you're going to pass or not. Come right? Sorry, I got a little excited because it's hitting what it needs to hit on, to make it make sense. So the test determines if you pass or not, and I can't hold myself back trying to rely on what somebody else is doing. Like, Talks with Tina really is me taking accountability for, my part in the relationship. And it's not to downplay what that person did, but it's to also acknowledge that, girl, you're not perfect either. Like, don't sit here and say, we get so tied up, especially in the relationship, says he's gonna lose a good thing. Oh, he don't know what he lost. Like, all of those things could be true, but you don't know the baggage that you carry until you're forced to confront it. You don't know what kind of toxic issues you brought to that person until you're forced to confront it. So I really just, if I learned anything in these last few days, is to still take accountability. I wanted to be so true during this process of uncovering my roots, that I stay true to me, and that I'm not saying anything that I don't stand firm on. And I stand firm on, like, you have to take accountability. Anybody who comes to me and it's just like, I'm not going to be that friend to tell you, like, girl, forget him. No, I'm not going to be that person. What did you do? Like, I want to hear your side, and I don't want this pretty picture. I don't want, well, I did. Tell me what you did, so that way we can determine the real gist of it. And that's life. Tell me your side. I don't want to hear about what that person did or what these 5 people did back in the day, because at some point you have to come to reality of, what did I do? What did I do, and how did my actions in that moment? It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Be like, I allowed that person to betray me. I allowed that hurt to take territory over 6 years of my life. But you have to come to a sense of, I can't hold on to this. So when that test comes again, you can be confronted with the same test over and over again. Because if you fail, you got to do it all over again. You might have to repeat the grade. But guess what? The lesson doesn't change. It's what you learn from the lesson. And if you learn nothing, you're going to have to do it again. You're going to have to do it again. That's life. That really is life. So being the student that you are, you take the time to learn a lesson. Do the homework. As tedious as it sounds, as crazy as it sounds, you have to do homework for yourself, on yourself, for yourself, by yourself. It's not a group effort. It's a you effort. And those who do the homework, they learn the lesson. They prepare for the quiz. The quiz is, and then when that test comes, 9 times out of 10, they're going to pass. You can be a fast learner. I'm a fast learner. But if I don't prepare and adequately make myself ready for it, then I'm not going to get a 100. I might get an 85. But do I just want to get by? Nah, I'm pretty, at this state that I am now, I want to pass with flying colors. And again, if we're making this make sense to your life, sometimes you have to step beyond what others are doing. Others can just get by. But are you willing to just get by? Do you want to pass with flying colors? Do you want to just be stuck at the same level? Do you want to be stuck in the same lesson? Or do you want to go beyond that? Do you want life to keep hitting you back and forth with this same thing? Or are you going to harbor over this one lesson instead of learning what these other lessons can teach you? Do you want to expand on your knowledge, or do you want to stay stagnant being in the first grade of your life? I'm trying to make it to college in my life, you feel me? And I did it already, but I think I'm in middle school right now learning this whole life thing. That's beyond the point. But take the time to be a student. You don't have to be an expert, but you also don't want to be stuck flunking and failing and redoing the same lesson all over again. You don't want to be stuck in the same lesson. Don't be so caught up in, well, I didn't understand it, so I'm gonna just do it again. I don't think we want to do that. I don't think we want to do that, because you don't give yourself a chance to learn more. If you don't ever learn the lesson, you don't give yourself a chance to learn more. And life is always going to give you something new to learn. But it's just a matter of how do you use that previous lesson to expand your knowledge of what life has to offer you. And I think that's the chat, folks. Let's stay growing. Take accountability, learn the lesson for what it is, what it teaches you, expand that knowledge so when the test comes, you don't fail, you don't flunker, you're not caught off guard. Life has way more to teach you, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of those things. But it's really up to you as to what kind of student you're gonna be. And I think for real, that's the chat.